All right, so get this. We're diving into something today that's like straight out of science fiction,
Oh, really?
but with a real world twist. Okay. Remember C-Rebro from X-Men? That thing Professor X used to like find mutants?
Uh-huh.
Well, imagine something like that, but instead of finding mutants, it helps you unlock your own like hidden potential.
Yeah, it's so fascinating how technology is like catching up with these sci-fi concepts.
Right, right?
Like we're talking about C-Rebro, this new headband that's like a personal trainer, but for your brain.
Exactly. And joining us to help us unpack all of this is Rodrigo Montenegro,
Oh, wow.
a neuroscientist, A&D, and get this, an out-of-body explorer. I
Whoa.
know, right? We'll unpack all that in a bit. But first, let's break down why you, the listener, should care about Cerebro.
Well, think about it like we track our steps,
Mm.
we track our heart rate, our calories. But what about our brains?
Yeah.
Cerebro gives you all these insights into how your brain works, helping you sleep better, focus more, and even explore like altered states of consciousness.
Right. And we're not just talking about some like vague promises here.
Yeah.
Cerebro uses some really cool tech to actually improve your brain function.
Absolutely.
One of the key things it focuses on is sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know how important sleep is, but did you know that deep sleep, that's where the magic happens?
Oh, yeah.
Like that's crucial for memory consolidation. So that's where your brain is processing and storing information.
Where everything's getting filed away.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what's really cool is that Cerebro doesn't just track your sleep patterns, like a typical sleep tracker.
Right.
It uses sound waves, and they're synced to your brain activity to actually guide you into deeper sleep.
Whoa. So you're not just passively monitoring your sleep, you're actually like enhancing it.
Exactly.
So that means you're waking up feeling more rested and your brain is better equipped to handle, whatever the day throws at you.
Yeah, and it goes beyond sleep, too.
Oh.
Yeah, Cerebro also measures your brain performance during the day. So you can see how your sleep quality is like impacting your concentration and your cognitive abilities.
So like having a feedback loop for your mental fitness.
Exactly, like having that personal brain coach we were talking about.
Right.
Giving you personalized insights and recommendations.
And if you're into meditation, Cerebro can even benchmark your brain activity against experienced practitioners.
That's right.
So you can actually see how your meditation practice is impacting your brainwaves.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, no more wondering if you're, doing it right.
Right. Exactly.
And that's the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, there's more.
Oh, yeah. Cerebro utilizes something called neuromodulation.
Okay, now this is where things get really interesting.
Yeah, it uses light and sound to gently stimulate specific areas of the brain.
Okay, could you explain how neuromodulation works?
So think of it like this. Your brain operates on electrical signals, right?
Okay.
Neuromodulation uses these precisely targeted stimuli to kind of nudge those signals in a certain direction, sort of like tuning an instrument.
Yeah, I see.
It's a safe, non-invasive technique. It's based on decades of research.
Okay, so Cerebro uses this neuromodulation to help you tap into those more like out there states.
Yes.
Like lucid dreaming where you're aware you're dreaming.
Mm.
And even out-of-body experiences.
Now, these are areas where research is still ongoing,
Sure.
but the potential is certainly intriguing. Like studies have shown that there are distinct brainwave patterns that are associated with lucid dreaming.
Really?
Yeah, and Cerebro uses light and sound to gently guide your brain towards those patterns.
So in a way, it's helping you explore the hidden potential of your own consciousness.
Precisely, and there's another fascinating phenomenon they're exploring called the vibrational state.
Wait, the vibrational state, what is that?
It's a bit hard to describe, but people who have experienced it often report feeling this tingling sensation throughout their body, almost like a vibration. And Cerebro is designed to help you achieve and understand this state by comparing your brain activity to that of long-term practitioners.
Hold on, so they're taking data from people who can have out-of-body experiences at will and using that to inform how Cerebro works.
That's right. They're even working with an individual who can induce these experiences on demand, which
Wow.
allows them to gather incredibly valuable data.
This is getting pretty mind-blowing.
It is.
But before we get too deep into those more far-out applications, let's emphasize that Cerebro's benefits extend to everyone.
Absolutely. Whether you're looking to sleep better, boost your focus, or explore the frontiers of your own consciousness, Cerebro has something to offer.
Yeah.
It's about empowering you to understand and optimize your own brain.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, from improving sleep to potentially tapping into altered states of consciousness.
Yeah.
What are some of the other key things we need to understand about Cerebro?
Well, one thing that makes Cerebro really stand out is its focus on giving you personalized feedback. It's not just about collecting data. It's about giving you insights based on that data that you can actually use.
So it's not like I'm just looking at a bunch of graphs and charts.
No.
Cerebro is actually like interpreting that data and telling me what it means for me.
Exactly. It's like having a personalized report card for your brain.
Mm-hmm.
It highlights areas where you're doing great and areas where you might, need a little extra help.
Okay.
And then it gives you recommendations on how to improve.
That's really cool. So it takes the guesswork out of things.
Yeah.
Like improving sleep or deepening my meditation.
Yes.
I'm not just shooting in the dark anymore. I've got like data-driven insights to help me.
And they're constantly refining the algorithms
Oh, wow.
based on new research and user feedback.
So the more people use Cerebro, the smarter it gets.
Exactly.
Okay, speaking of research, I understand they're also exploring the potential of Cerebro for something called remote viewing.
Yes.
Now that's where things get really mind-bending.
It definitely challenges our conventional understanding of how the brain works.
So for someone who's not familiar with it, what is remote viewing?
So remote viewing, as the name suggests, is the purported ability to get information about a distant location using only your mind.
Okay, I gotta admit, that sounds a little far-fetched to me.
It does.
Is there any like scientific evidence to support this?
It's an area where more research is definitely needed.
Sure.
But there have been some intriguing studies.
Okay.
And they're actually working with an individual who claims to be able to have out-of-body experiences and do remote viewing whenever he wants.
Really? So they're taking data from someone who can seemingly do this and putting it into Cerebro?
That's right. They're comparing his brain activity during these experiences to his baseline data
Okay.
to see if there are any, unique patterns or signatures.
It's like they're trying to decode the neural language of remote viewing.
Yeah, in a way.
What are the implications if they're successful?
I mean, it could completely revolutionize our understanding of consciousness and the nature of reality.
Wow.
Imagine a world where we can access information beyond what we can see, hear, touch, taste, and smell.
Yeah, that's almost too much for me to wrap my head around.
It is pretty mind-blowing.
Okay, well, let's shift gears a little bit and talk about the more practical applications of Cerebro.
Sure.
You mentioned it's like a personal trainer for your brain. What are some specific benefits people can expect?
Well, aside from the sleep enhancement and the meditation support,
Right.
Cerebro can also really help to improve your focus and concentration.
Because a lot of people struggle with distractions these days.
Yeah, it's a huge problem, especially in our hyper-connected world.
I know, I feel like I'm constantly bombarded with notifications, emails. It's really hard to stay focused on any one task for very long.
And that's where Cerebro can be so helpful.
How so?
It uses neurofeedback to train your brain to stay on track, even when there are all these distractions.
So it's not just about blocking out those distractions. It's about training my brain to be more resilient and better able to handle them.
Precisely. And over time, you can actually see improvements in your ability to focus and concentrate for longer.
And that would have huge implications for everything I do.
Oh, absolutely. From productivity at work to academic performance to, creative pursuits.
It's like giving my brain the tools it needs to like thrive in this fast-paced world.
Exactly.
Now, I understand that Cerebro also has applications for things like stress reduction and managing anxiety.
That's right. Stress and anxiety are major issues for so many people.
Yeah,
And they can have a big impact on how well your brain functions.
for sure.
Cerebro can help you to identify and manage those states by giving you insights into your physiological responses and offering techniques to calm your mind and body.
So it's kind of like a built-in stress management system.
In a way, yes, it's about giving you back control of your mental and emotional well-being.
And I think a lot of people are looking for that, especially in today's world.
Yeah, we're constantly bombarded with stimuli and demands.
It's no wonder people are feeling overwhelmed and stressed out.
And that's where Cerebro comes in, you see. It's not about escaping from the world. It's about giving you the tools to navigate it in a better way
Okay.
and to find some inner peace and clarity amidst the chaos.
I like that. So we've talked about the sleep enhancement, the meditation support, the focus and concentration benefits, the stress reduction, the anxiety management. Is there anything else Cerebro can do?
Well, they're also exploring its potential for enhancing creativity.
Really?
There's growing evidence that certain brainwave patterns are associated with creative insight and flow states.
Wait, so you're saying C-Rebro could help people to be more creative?
It's definitely a possibility.
Wow.
By using light and sound to gently nudge the brain towards those creative brainwave patterns,
Hmm.
they think that they can help people to access their creative potential more easily.
That's fascinating. It
Mhm.
would be amazing if technology could help us unlock that hidden creative spark within ourselves.
Yeah, it would. What other innovative applications are they looking into for the future?
Oh, they're exploring a wide range of possibilities, from using Cerebro to help with learning and memory, to potentially even helping people with neurological conditions
Like what?
like ADHD or Alzheimer's.
Wow, that's incredible.
Mhm.
It sounds like Cerebro has the potential to be a real game changer,
It does.
not just for personal growth, but for healthcare as well.
It's still early days,
Mhm.
but the potential is definitely there. And one thing that's really exciting is that they're committed to making this technology available to as many people as possible.
That's great. How are they doing that?
Well, for one thing, they're going to be launching a crowdfunding campaign to help bring the device to market at a price that people can afford.
Oh, that's great news. Crowdfunding is a fantastic way to make these kinds of technologies more accessible.
Exactly. It allows people to support innovation and be a part of something groundbreaking, even if they don't have, tons of money to invest.
So for anyone listening who's intrigued by what we've been talking about,
They could actually contribute to the development of this and be one of the first to experience it.
that's right. And they're also planning to make the technology open source down the road,
Oh,
which means that developers will be able to create their own applications.
so it could become even more powerful.
Exactly. And potentially expand its capabilities even further.
That's a bold move.
Yeah.
It really shows their commitment to collaboration and pushing the boundaries of what's possible in this field.
They believe that the more people who have access to this technology and who contribute to its development, the greater its potential to make a positive impact on the world.
I completely agree. This feels like one of those pivotal moments in history
It does.
where technology and human potential are kind of converging in these really exciting ways.
It's a time of immense possibility. And as we continue to explore the vast capabilities of the human brain and develop tools like Cerebro, who knows what incredible discoveries and advancements are waiting for us.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today,
We have
but there's still one more piece of the puzzle to explore. Oh.
the ethics of using technology to enhance our brains.
Ah, yes. That's a crucial conversation to have.
It is so. Stay tuned as we delve into that in the next part of our deep dive into the world of Cerebro. Okay, so we've been exploring all the amazing things that Cerebro can do,
Yeah.
from boosting our sleep and focus to potentially unlocking things like remote viewing.
Right.
But with any powerful technology, especially one that interacts directly with our brains,
Mm-hmm.
there are some, important ethical questions about how it's used.
It's crucial to have these conversations.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about a device that can influence our thoughts, our emotions, even our perception of reality.
Exactly. So what are some of those ethical considerations surrounding Cerebro and neurotechnology in general?
Well, one concern is, the potential for misuse.
Okay.
Like, imagine if someone were to use this technology to try to manipulate or control other people's minds.
That sounds like something straight out of like a dystopian sci-fi movie.
Yeah, it's a possibility that we need to be aware of.
And that's why it's so important to have, clear ethical guidelines and regulations in place.
So we can prevent things like that from happening.
Exactly. It's not just about the technology itself, it's about how we use it and what safeguards we have.
I see. So it's not enough to just develop the technology we have to think about the potential consequences as well.
Precisely. Another concern is, the potential for inequality.
Okay, how so?
Well, if access to this technology is limited to certain groups of people, it could make existing social and economic disparities even worse.
That's a really important point. We don't want to create a world where only the wealthy or the privileged have access to the tools that can enhance their cognitive abilities.
Exactly. It's crucial to ensure that this technology is accessible to everyone, regardless of their background or their socioeconomic status.
That brings us back to Cerebro's commitment to affordability and open source development.
Right.
It sounds like they're trying to address these concerns from the very beginning.
They definitely seem to be taking these considerations seriously, which is encouraging.
Yeah.
They're also emphasizing the importance of user education and informed consent.
So making sure that people understand how the technology works,
Yeah.
what the potential risks and benefits are, and that they're using it voluntarily.
Exactly. It's about empowering people to make informed decisions about their own cognitive enhancement.
It sounds like there's a delicate balance to strike here.
There is.
We want to harness the incredible potential of neurotechnology, but we also need to be mindful of the ethical implications.
It's a complex landscape, and there aren't any easy answers.
Right.
But by having these open and honest conversations,
Yeah.
we can hopefully navigate this new frontier in a way that benefits everyone.
I agree. We need to approach this technology with both a sense of wonder and a healthy dose of caution.
Absolutely. And it's important to remember that technology is a tool at the end of the day.
Right.
It's up to us to decide how we use it and what kind of future we want to create.
Well said. Well, we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
From the science behind C-Rebro to the potential benefits, the ethical considerations. What's the key takeaway you want to leave our listeners with?
I think the most important takeaway is that we are on the verge of a new era in human evolution, an era where we have the potential to shape our own cognitive destinies. Technology like C-Rebro is giving us a glimpse into that future.
Yeah.
And it's up to us to use it wisely and responsibly.
I love that, shaping our own cognitive destinies. It's exciting and inspiring and maybe even a little daunting all at the same time.
It certainly is, but it's a future that we are all creating together, you know?
Yeah.
One thought, one decision, one innovation at a time.
And as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of C-Rebro, I encourage all of you listening to keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep pushing the boundaries of your own potential.
That's right.
Who knows what incredible possibilities await us in this new era of human evolution.
The journey is just beginning, and it's one that we can all take together.
Thanks for joining us on this incredible exploration of C-Rebro.
It's been my pleasure.
Until next time, keep diving deep.